Deep within the great swamps of the zone, there lies an isolated faction of stalkers. Seen as peculiar environmentalists by others, ClearSky is a paramilitary group following their scientific interests within the zone. Obviously, they're the focus of the second game in the series. Through the protagonist S.T.A.L.K.E.R, you'll get to meet various members of the group and learn more of their motivations and origin throughout the game. As S.T.A.L.K.E.R, you encounter two leaders of ClearSky straight away after surviving a mission in the swamps, Lebedev and Kalancha. You overhear them talking about you.
Without going into detail, I must say I have never seen anything like this before. The encephalogram suggests serious damage to the nervous system, but the other indicators couldn't be better. It's astounding.
Perhaps it has something to do with the emission.
Most certainly.
After this, you'll have free reign to explore ClearSky's main base and meet the majority of their members. You'll meet Cold, the group's bartender and provider of dirty jokes.
Hello, Mark. You became quite a legend while you were out of it. Even you wouldn't believe some of the rumors I've heard.
Gray, the faction's technician. Nimble, who acts as a guide and informer for both you and ClearSky. He sells you stash coordinates, but doesn't do much else except try to sleep. Professor Kalancha,
I'm glad to see you, young man. You look considerably better.
also known as Bean Palev in other translations. Suslov, the faction's trader and mission giver.
Oh, welcome, guest from foreign lands. What come you with? A bursting purse? A prized exotic wonders?
Finally, there's Lebedev, the leader of ClearSky.
Got some fresh air. You look better, that's for sure.
Together with Kalancha and Suslov, these three are the founding members of the faction. They also have a common origin, known as the group. They formed ClearSky after the second emission in 2006. The game itself takes place in 2011, so they've been in the swamps doing something for 5 years. Their vision is to be able to live peacefully within the zone, believing that it functions like an organic being, evident by how it defends itself against attempts by those who try to reach the center. In some respects, they're comparable to other factions. They wish to coexist in the zone like freedom. They aim to study and understand the complexities of the zone like the ecologists, but they can be aggressive in their pursuit of this, like the monolith. When you first encounter ClearSky, they're an ill-equipped and a besieged group of stalkers. Until S.T.A.L.K.E.R came along, ClearSky was losing a war against the renegade faction, a group of bandits who moved into the Great Swamps after the pathway opened due to changes in the locations of anomalies. Beating ClearSky by sheer numbers, only with S.T.A.L.K.E.'r's help did they manage to retake most of the swamp and reduce the renegades to minimal numbers. After doing this, Lebedev and Kalancha conclude that the emission that nearly killed S.T.A.L.K.E.R at the beginning of the game was because the zone's center had been penetrated by a group of stalkers. Lebedev sends S.T.A.L.K.E.R to travel through the zone in search of information on the group that entered the center of the zone, S.T.A.L.K.'s group. After S.T.A.L.K.E.R completing this, Lebedev mobilizes ClearSky in an attempt to breach the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. A combined force of a now better armed ClearSky, S.T.A.L.K.E.R, and Leshy's mercs fight through military, monolith, bandits, and renegades to secure their way through Limansk. This is where you encounter S.T.A.L.K.E.R.
Glad to see you, Mark. We've done the impossible. We fought our way into the very center of the zone, to the power plant, and mostly Petrenko, get a scan of S.T.A.L.K.E.'r's PDA frequency.
Commander, S.T.A.L.K.E.R is very close.
Lebedev, this is the recon squad. We got a visual on S.T.A.L.K.E.R.
Mark, climb onto the heat pipeline and intercept S.T.A.L.K.E.R. We'll cover you from the ground. Mark.
Being given the EM-1 rifle, the precursor to the Gauss rifle, you use it to disable S.T.A.L.K.E.'r's psi protection device in an attempt to stabilize the zone. Yet this actually has an inverse effect. Instead, the zone releases another emission after the device is disabled, either incapacitating, killing or zombifying all nearby. Monolith sees a prototype rifle and use it to make their deadly Gauss rifle. The remnants of ClearSky either die, are brainwashed into Monolith, or turned into common consciousness agents. That's the end of ClearSky, and it's the last we ever hear of them. Or is it? Move on a year later into Call of Pripyat. Clear-Sky may have died, but an echo of its existence remains. The faction has died out due to losing its leadership and most of its manpower due to their failed assault into the CNPP. Yet, there are two former members still alive. First, there's Nimble, a stalker present in all three games. After the collapse of Clear-Sky, he found himself working for Sid in the Cordon. In Call of Pripyat, he deals rare gear in the Skadovsk. And there's also Grey again, although his name is now Novikov. He serves the same role for the ecologist in Call of Pripyat as he did to Clear-Sky, a technician. It's possible that Al, the information dealer, may have helped Novikov along his way, as he is the one that sends you to go work with him, as well as Novikov mentioning him owing him a favour. Other than the two surviving members and the EM1 rifle becoming the Gauss rifle, there is one other remnant of Clear-Sky present in Call of Pripyat, the dark origin of Clear-Sky's founding. I mentioned the group earlier. It's obviously not a coincidence that the three founding members of Clear-Sky also happen to be a part of this mysterious organisation. Throughout Call of Pripyat, you come across documents making reference to the founding members. Underneath the Iron Forest, within the testing workshop, you come across the documents concerning Item 62. It reads, documents which describe the operating mechanism and main technical characteristics of the electromagnetic device. Documents must be returned to X8, the central laboratory. I will be busy, so deliver them yourself. Use the magnetic card in the Pripyat Yubileny Service Center to go down to the second underground floor. You'll work it out from there. The access card is enclosed. N. Lebedev. The electromagnetic device refers to the EM1 rifle, and X8 served as the headquarters for the group's pre-blowout experiments. Within the lab is a multitude of top-secret scientific information, containing information of psychic experiments, how to make the EM1 rifle, and the effect of emission exposure on living organisms. Yet, the more relevant document is the order of transfer. The document refers to the transfer of a research team and all materials to another laboratory called X7, which will be used to research matters relating to the influence of a noosphere. The research team comprises of N.A. Lebedev, E.F. Kalancha, and V.I. Suslov. With this newfound knowledge, it offers a lot of clarity towards Clear-Sky's motivations. Being founded by former members of a group, a post-Soviet research organization focusing primarily on the noosphere deep within the zone. Essentially, the noosphere is a sphere of human thought, a psychic layer around the Earth. Yeah, it's complicated. The cause of the split within the group began when the sea consciousness experiment went wrong. They attempted to form a super consciousness by connecting 7 minds together to correct the noosphere and eliminate crime, war, and corruption. Instead, this created a rift in the noosphere, reaching into the biosphere, which is essentially everything living on Earth. This collision of two spheres created an area where the laws of physics didn't apply and unthinkable phenomena occurred. The zone had been born. Afterwards, Lebedev, Suslov, and Kalancha left seeking to remove the fracture in the noosphere, or at least try to contain it and make it possible to live with. Now that we know the full story, what do you think of Clear-Sky? They once appeared fairly innocent at the beginning of Clear-Sky, scientists wanting to understand the zone better, yet obviously shrouded in mystery. We then discover, after their destruction, that the founders did have a dark past. Yet in the game Clear-Sky, we see them trying to right their wrongs. Thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, I recommend subscribing to know when I release more lore and playthrough content. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed the video, and be sure to leave a comment if you have any suggestions or insightful comments. Have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.